My name is Aaron, and I grew up in the world of metal. In fact, it's the only thing I ever really cared about in terms of music. But you know what, recently, I've wanted something a little bit different. Well, look who's back. Today, one of the two songs I will be doing is BLACKPINK. Kind of a funny relationship that I have with them, and that is that usually I prefer the solo music over the group music, but I always think it's good to check out a group and see if perhaps what their new music brings and see what we can do with it. So I think we should absolutely check it out. So we're doing Shutdown, and let's see.
Blackpink in your area. Blackpink in your area. 컴백이 아니야 떠난 적 없으니까 고개들이 돌아 진정에 못 걷길라 분홍빛의 얼음 drip 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 freezer on side shut it down. Yeah 이미 안에 뛴 적이 없으니까 지저분이 목에 먹줄은 내 거니까 땅바닥에 단패로 we go 205 shut it down. 초록빛을 내려 머리 위로 don't trip baby 겸손하게 그냥 앉아있어 just sit baby praying for my downfall many have tried baby catch me when you hit my Lamborghini go vroom 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 when we pull up you know it's a shutdown 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown whip it 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 it's black and it's pink once the sundown when we pull up you know it's a shutdown 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown whip it 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 keep watching me shut it down. Nah, you don't wanna be on my best side. That's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me three if I was you. Been around the world, pros on your girl. VVS is we invested. Need a lesson, see the neck and see the stresses. We don't buy, we regress it. A rock star, a pop star, but rowdy. I say bye to the paparazzi. Get my good side, I'll smile for ya. No, it ain't fair to ya. It's staring you like what now? Blackpink in your area. The area been shut down. It's a shutdown. 네 다음 답안지가 똑바로 봐도 sleep, baby. 뒤집어봐 이건 가격표야 ain't cheap, baby. Stay in your own lane, cause I'm about to swerve. Catch me when you hit my Lamborghini, go vroom, 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 vroom. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. It's black and it's pink once the sundown. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Keep watching me shut it down. Shut it down. Blackpink in your area. Shut it down. What? Shut it down. Blackpink in your area. Keep talking, we shut you down.
Crazy. Okay, had to do a little bit of confirming to make sure that I wasn't about to make some silly comments. Interesting song. For those of you who don't know, I am very much into classical music, and let's just say that was a nice little sampling from Vivaldi's La Campanella, and very, very well integrated. I actually thought that this is probably out of everything that I have heard, probably my favorite song that I have heard from them, in all honesty. And I think the fact of the matter is that they were able to integrate their own stuff into a classical piece like that was actually pretty cool, and I actually really liked it. And like I said, most of the time I actually prefer their solo music, but this is getting pretty good here. Like, this is actually starting to get really good. I admit, like, we've heard a couple of their songs on this channel, and it's been pretty good, but this is like, oh yeah, okay, this is quality. So I actually greatly appreciate it. I think that the interesting thing is it's just kind of doing this like hip hop with like classical music kind of thing. That was actually something I remember being kind of a heavier influence back in like the early 2000s. I remember there was an underground movement where there would be people that would do hip hop and rap where they would specifically do it over classical music, and that's kind of the vibe that I got. And pretty cool actually. No, I actually think, like I said, I think this has probably been my favorite song from Blackpink that I've heard. The other stuff, I think maybe just because it got so commercialized, and this is just kind of me as a person, but most of the time when things become commercialized, usually I end up losing interest in it a lot more. And it's not like I'm some sort of like hipster, like, oh, I found these guys before they were popular. Just a lot of times when things get commercialized, they get so beat into your head that it's hard to, I find it hard to enjoy it. But haven't really heard this from anybody or anywhere, so I have to admit, maybe that's the reason why I enjoyed it a little bit more. But it was actually pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Nice hip hop vibe. I don't know. Yeah. I think that it was just really cool. I really kind of like the fact that they didn't try to like chop it up and hide the La Campanella. A lot of times when anybody samples anything from like classical music, they're like, oh, we want to use it, but we don't want to make it sound like this exactly. But they're just kind of like, no, we're going to roll with it. And I think it worked. I think that was a smart payoff, and I think that was a smart decision, especially with the way that the song is written. So, yeah, I think that was pretty cool. Huh, who would have ever thought? But I'm probably a little bit late coming to the party on this particular song. Like I said, we've checked them out before. Maybe I need to do a little bit more deep diving into them. Haven't always been like super like, oh man, I want to check out more Blackpink, but I'm never opposed to listening to them, if that makes sense. But who knows? Maybe if the recommendations come through where I can start branching out and finding out maybe some of their better stuff or some of their best stuff. I don't know. I think I just really think that they played the cards smart on this one. I feel like a lot of times the labels and the companies or whoever writes the music, whether it's them or the record companies or whoever, I feel like they're starting to get smarter with some of these things and some of their decisions. And you know, I got to give kudos to them. Obviously, when you have a property like Blackpink, you kind of want to treat this a little bit different than most groups because of the fact is that they are so commercially popular. And you know, it's kind of a solid piece that you have to kind of make sure that you play your cards right. And so I can understand why you don't want to take the risk that you did on this song, but also at the same time, I think you have to have a certain level of making sure that it doesn't get too, you know, out of control, which I think that's kind of what they did really well with this song. So anyway, let me know what y'all think about Blackpink's newest song. I think this is the newest song anyway, called Shut Down. And we'll talk about it, and we'll see you in the next video, and I hope they have a good day. Vivaldi and Blackpink, who would have ever thought?